Hi, it's old Joe, and I approve this message.
Bing, bing, bong, bong. Bing, 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 bong, bong. Bing, 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 bang, bang.
And now from Times Square, it's That Kevin Show.
Somewhere in the bowels of the city that never sleeps,
Kevin McCullough, radio host with Salem Media,
is a man also not sleeping.
Syndicated radio talk show host Kevin McCullough.
And that guy would like a word with you.
Many of you know him as Vostradamus.
Of course that Kevin show is going to be great. The only thing that could be greater, of course, would be That Donald show. We don't have that, so we have That Kevin show.
Featuring the music of Dick Tunney and the Dream in Color Orchestra. Straight ahead. Where will energy be headed with Trump? Gabriella Hoffman from the Independent Women's Forum. Ending slavery in our time, Todd Chapman. Sketch comedy from the Holderness family and not a parody. What happens next? Pastor and author Max Lucado weighs in, and we salute our veterans with Ed Hall. And Drew Jacobs, Lee Greenwood, and Coffee Anderson in the Spotlight. And now, from Times Square, a man who got his prognostication game on this week and who's been seen wandering around Times Square yelling, "Recount Virginia," here.
So you saw that, did you?
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna chew you out and say, you shouldn't be spreading lies.
Of course you would.
I did. I went around Times Square and I was like, recount Virginia.
I know.
Because, baby, Vostradamus was back this week with a vengeance. I got one state wrong on the entire map. And it was because I had said that the Virginia race was going to be very, very close. And I tipped it, but I tipped it in Trump's favor. And it was a tip into Harris's favor. And that was the only thing I got wrong on the entire map. Take that, baby. And by the way, there's a lot of people asking questions like, how did we have like the most incredible turnout? You had long lines around the streets, like our polling place. I've never waited 15 minutes to vote before. In our little sleepy polling place, I waited an hour and 25 minutes to vote. My wife went later in the day, hour 45 minutes. We had lines out the door all day long. Every poll worker I called, every Secretary of State's office that was in contact with me, every party official that I spoke to said record turnout, long lines everywhere, lines out the door, record early vote. So many votes sent in early because the Republicans did it on par with the Democrats this time. They kind of matched each other. Record early vote, record lines, record. And then, lo and behold, check this out. We were 16 million short of the record. How did? Wait, hold on a second. How'd that work? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about that. Yeah, record everything. The other word that they're using in all the TV shows is that the Kamala Harris ran a flawless campaign. They're saying it with bated breath, like it's some sort of like mystery. Oh, she somehow lost, even though she ran a flawless campaign. And it's almost like a talking point. Like if you look at all the networks, like everybody got on the same page really quick. Like they knew that this was the word they were now supposed to be using to describe the flawless campaign. Take a look.
Harris ran basically a flawless campaign, but just on the most elemental level, being a mixed race woman from California maybe doomed her candidacy from the start.
I think Vice President Harris ran an incredible campaign. And I think because she ran an incredible campaign, it's been very telling about who we are, because her campaign did focus on the threat to democracy.
I think that she ran a flawless campaign, and I maintain that. I think now it's the time for us to work.
I thought she did a phenomenal job.
Yep.
She went all out. She did what she could.
You cannot use her failed run in 2019 and hold it against her after watching this incredible campaign she's run now.
I think Kamala Harris
hit her marks. I think most everybody that saw her campaign thought that she far exceeded expectations, and that the loss was less about the campaign she ran and more about where Americans were.
And nothing that was true yesterday about how flawlessly this campaign was run is not true now. I mean, this really was an historic, flawlessly run campaign. Queen Latifah never endorses anyone.
And here's the real thing. How could it be flawless if he expanded the outreach to African American and Latinos for Republicans? Like, how could it be flawless on her part if he actually grew his coalition that gave him those majorities? He grew the coalition of women. I know that Mika Brzezinski doesn't want to hear this, but Trump got more women to vote for him than they've ever voted for before. So all of the hysterical bitter criers that are all over Instagram screaming, the screaming yup into their pillow while they tape themselves, which I've never understood. Why is that an attractive thing to put on social media? Who knows? But they do it. The wild screaming and gnashing of teeth and tearing of the clothes. He got more women. You can't blame this on just white dudes, because there were a lot of black dudes and brown dudes that voted for him. This was a thrashing across all demographics. He won the popular vote, people. He won 300 electoral votes. He expanded the Senate. He narrowly expanded the House. He swept the swing states, mostly because they had to play by actual rules this time. But that's a different discussion altogether. But again, how was her campaign flawless if he did all of this? And now, friends, he is coming after the deep state. His statement on social media on Thursday night, laying out the 9 areas that he's going to go clean house. People are shredding documents faster than they've ever shredded in their entire life. They're making it look like the Blitz at Nuremberg or something. Like, seriously, they are trying to cover up and get out. And there's going to be so many departments that they're going to clean house with, and it's going to be a great thing. We're going to fire a whole bunch of people that hate this country, that have been working in offices that could actually undermine the welfare of the people for years. And we have a president who's going to do that now. And he's going to do it quickly. He's also already solving world problems. Have you noticed this? Gaza, the Hamas is already begging for a peace deal in Gaza. You've got Russia, Putin's already begging for a meeting to discuss how he can equitably extricate himself out of Ukraine. You've got the Qataris kicking the Palestinians out of Qatar. Like, the new sheriff's back, baby. He's back, and it's going to be a lot of winning. It's just going to win all over the place. So congratulations, America. You got an actual president back. Someone who the whole world right now fears and is in trembling respect of, which is exactly where America needs to be. When the world is playing kissy face with us, they don't respect us. They don't hold us in esteem. But when they respect us, they immediately say, "Oh, I better watch my behavior. I better be on my best behavior." And you know who wins from that? Not just America, the entire world wins from that. Dennis Prager says it all the time. When America is feared, the world is safer. When America is liked, the world is dangerous. You can still like us and fear us at the same time. You can have respect for us, but and I don't mean fear like, oh, we're going to abuse them. Like, just a healthy respect. And that's what we got, friends. All right. Speaking of what I want you to get, sugarfinaholiday.com. Have you registered for the winning of the Advent calendar? Sugarfinaholiday.com. We're going to announce the winner on the final day of November. Sugarfinaholiday.com. Go and register. You could win the Hello Kitty Advent calendar. You could win the traditional Advent calendar that they have. Sugarfinaholiday.com. Sugarfinaholiday.com. And tonight, we have a matching challenge for those that would like to free a slave. Bringherhome.org. 34 slaves to go. 34 to go before we're done. Bringherhome.org. Let's get it done. And go to sugarfinaholiday.com to win an Advent calendar for this Advent season filled with candies and goodness. I'm Kevin McCullough. Huge show tonight. We're going to celebrate veterans. Max Lucado is here. Gabriella Hoffman's here. Hilarious new comedy from the Holderness family. You don't want to miss a single moment. And the #1 song, Glenn Campbell and Drew Jacobs, in the entire world, tonight on That Kevin Show.